Today, I want to be analyzing and giving my insights into the whole results that have been reported on Kanye West's commercial during the Super Bowl and the results that happened right after his commercial aired. As some of you may already know that have been following me, or if you're new, I'm the founder of a brand design and marketing company. I'm also working on becoming a sports agent within the next year, basically before the end of this year. But for the last 4 years almost, I've been running the marketing and brand design company, GL Marketing Advisors, and I love to give insights on marketing, on business growth, on strategies to help you grow your business, be it a product business, service business, etc. And based on my experiences in the company, plus before that when I was in corporate, I want to make these videos to provide value to all of you looking to grow your personal brands or your companies. And let's analyze this, because Kanye West's execution is crucial to understand, because it really is showcasing the power of what I believe is the future. Kanye West doesn't fall into what we call micro influencer. He's an actual prominent figure in music, fashion, etc. So he's not a micro influencer. He actually has a gigantic following. So let's go over first the numbers. Kanye West on Twitter has just over 800 million followers. Let's be realistic though, because right, I do have a marketing company, and I do understand, because I've worked with clients in different areas of their content strategy, content creation, and helping them understand metrics and analytics on social media. So I understand Twitter has been notoriously known for having a lot of bots. Still a problem to this day, even though Elon Musk has talked about it directly and said they're working on eliminating bots and false accounts, etc. But it's been a problem for a while. So let's just say, for example, that Kanye West, he's banned on Twitter, so he's not active. His account has been restricted on Twitter. But let's just say half of that is actual followers, right? So he still has 400 million followers if half of them are botted. So that's crazy right there. So that just shows you the amount of influence and reach that he potentially has. But now let's go to Instagram. Instagram, he basically has 22 million, around 22 million followers on Instagram, and that account is active. So that account is not banned. He's able to post, interact, and create content on Instagram. So let's just stick with that, right? Let's just stick with the Instagram, 22 million followers. So now that we have the kind of the numbers of his potential reach, now let's go into what he executed in terms of the Super Bowl commercial. First off, let's take a quick look at it. All right.
Commercial, and since we spent all the money on the commercial spot, we actually didn't spend any money on the actual commercial. But the idea is, I want you to go to Yeezy.com, YEEZY.com, and I'm gonna write it at the bottom of the screen. And I got some shoes. And
okay, so you saw that it's a very low production video. Literally, I don't know where he's at. I don't know if it's like in a train or in some type of vehicle he's moving, but it's a very, right, basically looks like produced right from his phone, and right goes straight to the point, and just lets people know that they could go on to Yeezy.com and buy shoes. The interesting thing was, later on, there's a follow-up on social media where his team strategically starts to share a video and video clips of Ye of Kanye in an interview where he talks about he eventually wants to make fashion accessible to as many people as possible, and not go into this luxury market, but more so go into the market of having a strong brand and competitive pricing. And he, in the interview, he says that he's gonna do it where he's gonna be able to sell his clothing, everything for $20. Using that clip, they then start to promote right after the Super Bowl commercial. That clip starts to get promoted. People see the Super Bowl commercial, go to Yeezy.com. All of a sudden, they see, wow, everything's at $20, like he said. So let's stop there. Imagine that a figure like Kanye West, who's been one of the top influential figures in more than one industry. We're talking about music, we're talking about fashion, right? And he's just, even he's dabbled and talked about going into architecture. So a figure like him, all of a sudden, first off, we're talking about building trust. And when you have a brand, that's one of the hardest things to from zero to build up, is the trust factor, because trust takes time and consistent actions and shared values to build up. That's what it takes to build up trust. Consistent actions plus shared values over time build trust. And Kanye West had kind of lost trust because he says things, doesn't think things over. He basically is a very impulsive person when it comes to the way he communicates, and it's actually shot him in the foot a lot of times. And I personally don't agree with a lot of things that he says in certain times, and how he does things as well. But it doesn't take away the fact that he is one of the most genius minds when it comes to marketing implementation of music and his products. When it comes to music per se, I think he's one of the most prolific musicians, producers that is living right now, because of the way he has this specific taste for music, that when he does music, like, he just understands how to put things together musically that just sound wonderful, and you just, when you hear it, it just provokes something special. That he has that gift. Now, has his lyrical content gone, in my opinion, down over the years? Yes, the lyrical context and the lyrical aspect of his music, the quality has gone down, in my opinion. But his music, his musicality, the way he's able to put together melodies, put together music, and just fuse sometimes even genres, like he did with the gospel, and then he's done it with pop and more like techno infused beats with hip hop, and then he had the whole 808 era. So he's shown that he's musically great. I tell you all this because all this matters, right? Because if he was just some other person who wasn't as talented, he wouldn't, right, have as much reach as he has now, and he wouldn't have had the same effects. Still, towards the end of this video, stick around, because I'm going to be explaining, though, what you can take from this strategy, even if you're not as big a figure as Kanye West, the things that smaller brands and marketers and people who are looking to grow a product-based company, what you can learn from this. So he executes the commercial. It comes out. Guess what? In one day, I got the numbers here. According to this, there's claims of a screenshot in a text conversation that it shows that they got 294,357 orders. So just almost 295,000 orders in one day, on the first day after the commercial aired. That ended up translating to $19.3 million in sales. Was this a good decision? Yes. Me analyzing it before, right? Before going into that, and if I were right, me thinking about him and his team sitting down and seeing, does this make sense? Because remember, the Super Bowl commercial is the most expensive spot on TV that you can buy within the whole year. I believe in this case, Kanye ended up having to, for just 30 seconds, I believe it was $7 million, if I'm not mistaken. So you have to really analyze what that return of investment is going to be, because you got one shot. If you're going to pay that $7 million, if it doesn't work out, you lost out. But with the prominent figure like Kanye, it does make sense. But we have seen figures who have a lot of numbers on socials and they don't have that reach. That reach does not translate into sales. So that's why this helps us understand that Kanye West does have real reach. He does have real influence. Love him or hate him, he has real influence, because we can see how in one day that commercial translated into $19 million in sales. So he basically doubled, right, his investment. He got back his money plus made double that. He made 19 million, invested 7 million. That's a great ROI in the first day. So this is continued. You know why I know? Because I've analyzed their strategy and I've looked into Instagram, and on my feed I've been getting sponsored ads, promoted ads from Kanye's team, showing me that clip that I told you about from him in an interview saying that he's gonna sell all his products for $20. They literally made a promotion out of that clip, and that's what they've been promoting after the Super Bowl commercial. So this is a whole marketing strategy that's been developed strategically by Kanye West and his team, and it's working. I mean, they freaking got their money back on the first day after the commercial, and now using the leverage and the attention the commercial got, because now you see influencers are sharing the stats on the commercial. You got people like myself who have a lot bigger audiences than I do. They're sharing what their thoughts are on Kanye West commercial. So that's kind of like that organic push that he's getting from those accounts. Plus he's got the team promoting and paying for pushing out clips. That clip that I just mentioned to you on Instagram, and that's taking them to the website. And just think about this, $20 each item, but from my experience in e-commerce, most people are not going to just check out with one item. Why? Because look at the strategy. Kanye West strategically has been known, his merchandise, what he's done with collaborations with Gap, Balenciaga, all these other companies, nothing has ever been that cheap. All of the items, even his tour merch, is not that cheap. So with the public perception being up here in terms of pricing, their expectation being here, and you being able to bring the price down here, you've basically over exceeded the expectation by competing on price. And since the perception was already there that his products are usually a cost of plus $100, especially when it comes to shoes, merch, I would say the cheapest product before this launch was like around maybe $40, $50 for one piece. We're talking about you cut that in half. People already feel just with that they're getting a deal, because there's already this perception of him, of his quality and the work he's done in fashion. There's already a perception of high quality when it comes to his name. So it's a no-brainer, right? People are gonna do at least 2 to 3 items in each checkout. And that's exactly what we saw when I did the numbers of those 294,000 orders. Let's just say, just to keep it simple, each order is one person. I mean, when you do the calculations, it 294,000 that generated 19.3 million in sales, that it checks out to around 3 items per checkout. So people were spending an average of $60. They were buying at least 3 items on that first day after the commercial aired. So it was an incredible strategy by Kanye West. I believe it was incredibly intelligent on him and his team, because they know that they do have real engagement. They have real reach, not like a lot of these quote unquote influencers where a lot of numbers are just super inflated. But Kanye West, love him or hate him, he has true influence. He understands that. His team understands that. And time again, even though he's been very controversial, he has shown that in terms of the business, in terms of executing business-wise, executing product-wise, he just is top level. I mean, next you see him, I saw the other day, him in a picture with the CEO of Adidas. Adidas, who not too long ago said they would never associate themselves with him. Yet, we see his influence comes out again, and they literally have to eat their words and are now bringing back the Yeezy products to sell. So this shows me, all of these are signals of how, if you're able to generate true influence, how that truly does generate into you being able to build a solid brand. And Kanye West is just giving us a masterclass as he goes. Like I said, I don't agree with everything he does or says, but when we analyze the business side, when we analyze the strategy in terms of marketing and how this was executed, I mean, I have to give it to him. And now to end it, what are the big takeaways if you have your brand and you're looking to grow your business? What can we take away from this? I would say that within the last 3 to 5 years, I've seen that influencer marketing in terms of digitally native brands, so brands that have been born online, not with physical stores, but they're born online, sell online, do everything digitally. We're seeing that era is already continuing to grow even more, to push forward even more. They're seeing more market share grow, more brands coming up and competing with bigger brands because they're able to keep their cost lower by being digitally native. And we're going to continue to see that. But the key to this with Kanye West strategy is that influencer marketing does still work. You just have to know the real influencers, the real people who have real engagement, who have built real trust with their audience, and it's not inflated numbers. You just have to find those specific people who truly understand how to create content for their audience, who truly understand how to listen to their audience and give their audience what they want, and build those real strong, loyal following. Those are the influencers that are going to grow in the future. And look out, I'm saying this now, micro influencers are the future, not influencers like Kanye. Influencers like Kanye that have that type of level of reach, of influence, they're going to build their own brands. They're going to be out of reach for you to work with them unless you're a gigantic global company, which is why you see a company like Adidas working with Kanye West. If you're a smaller brand, that type of influencer with that reach, they're going to build their own brand. We saw it. Tom Brady just did this. Now he's going into a partnership where he partnered up with somebody recently. I forgot the name of the company, but it's basically an apparel company, and Tom Brady came in and partnered on it as a co-owner. Why? Because he has influence, and he understands that with that influence, if somebody else has the other piece, which is the branding, the logistics, the product development, he brings the audience. You put those two together, when there's real influence and engagement, there's growth, incredible growth. So we're seeing this. But the opportunity is going to be for me, in my opinion, it's going to be in micro influencers. It's going to be in brands being able to build relationships with influencers before they get really big, and you're able to build that relationship from the very beginning. And once they hit that peak where they start to go crazy with growth, and you already got that relationship with them, your brand is going to just go right up with that growth with them. You're going to go right there in parallel with their growth. Your brand and your reach will grow as well. So it's about finding micro influencers before they get that real strong, big audience. Build those relationships with micro influencers with real engagement, and influencer marketing is going to continue to push a lot of digital direct to consumer brands. It's gonna be crazy. There's a whole bunch of examples of brands that have been able to grow just off of that, just off of, you know, influencers on TikTok, influencers on Instagram. But like I said, it has to be strategic, and it has to be the right people and the right partnership. So that's it. Hope you got value from this video and this analysis of, right, the recent marketing strategy that Kanye West executed with his Super Bowl commercial. At the end of the day, I think it was a big success, and I think we're gonna continue to see those numbers go up. And this is just the beginning. I want to check this out in a few weeks and see how the numbers look, because this was just a few days ago, and he's already got his, you know, he got his money back on the commercial, and he's, you know, like I said, they're just selling like crazy, I can imagine now, because that perception is there, the authority is there. $20, people are like, $20, I spend that freaking on a lunch, or lunch between two people, or sometimes even at a freaking fast food restaurant. $20, shoot, let me get 2 or 3 things. And then all of a sudden, now you're seeing that momentum for the Yeezy brand come back. Crazy. He executed it, it worked, and it's a lesson for us to learn from, and now take action with it. All right? Take care. Bye-bye.